As most of you know, the DistoX was discontinued at the end of last year. I sent an email to B. Herb, the designer of the DistoX, asking if there were any plans for a DistoX3. He replied that there were no plans for a replacement. Apparently, the new generations of rangefinders from Leica are smaller and more integrated, so it is not practical to re-engineer his design into those cases. I had a number of follow-up emails with Bede over the following month, and he said he was willing to share his knowledge and expertise. In my opinion, the DistoX2 has been the most important development to caving since the invention of the rack. The speed and accuracy of surveys using the DistoX2 is unparalleled, and we all know how much fun it is to shoot high-angle shots with Suntos. My background is in electronics. I made a career out of creating electronic products. I have also designed a few caving devices, such as the Manly 20 headlamp, as well as the unreleased Carbi headlamp from Spain. So I decided to design a new replacement for the classic DistoX2. The original X2 was released in 2007, followed by the DistoX2 in 2009. Electronics has changed over the last 11 years, and new MEMS devices, that's micro-electromechanical systems, have appeared in the market. I found 19 possible digital compasses. I selected the most likely 3 candidates, as well as the sensor that is used for the DistoX2 for reference. I mounted them on a breadboard with an LCD display. The board includes the sensor used in the original DistoX2, 3 other digital compasses, an accelerometer for measuring inclination, an SD card for storing the data, and a small Arduino-based processor. I have concerns over linearity of the sensors. It's easy if you're just going to point the compass or your digital compass and go north, south, east, west. You're good and stuff like that. But how about the in-between stuff? How about when you aim it at 45 degrees but it actually registers 46? And so I'm worried about that aspect of it. So how do you test that? Well, that's what this is. What I'm doing is basically taking a stepper motor at one end with toothed belts down here, and that goes over through a carriage. The carriage is just a way to attach the 2 pieces of the belt, and then over to a set of gears over here. The stepper motor is 200 steps per rotation. After the gearing, it's basically a ratio to 720, such that it's a half a degree. So it looks like this. I have a little modified power supply with a Arduino, and it goes like this. So I can very well control the exact rotation. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my breadboard, put the breadboard on top of this, and then rotate it. The rotation is going to be slow. This demo right here is at a fast speed. Each step is going to occur every 4 seconds. So that gives me enough time to do essentially 18 samples of all the data every 4 seconds, right, which is each step. So in a full rotation takes 45 minutes. So it takes a while, but I get tons of data along the way. And then if I take all that data and bring it into a spreadsheet, then I can basically see if there's any nonlinear characteristics, parameters there. So that's what all this is about. Now, one of the questions is kind of like, well, I did this with, is there anything magnetic along the way? And of course, stepper motors have tons of magnets in there. All right, that's what motors do. So I had to basically move the stepper away from the turntable. You would normally say, all right, let's do the turntable and put a motor under it. But of course that won't work because it's too close. So this is all aluminum in between, stainless steel, bolts everywhere. We have copper sleeves rather than bearings here. When I'm all done, the question is, did I actually do the right thing? All right, is there any magnetic parameters, any ferrous stuff that's still near my sensors for my testing? And what I ended up doing is I put a disto. So I built a cardboard box around this and then put the disto on top of it and then slide into it and slide out, and I see if there's less than 1/10 of a degree, all right, then I am successful. And I did that at 4 different angles. So I think this setup is a good way for the measurement. All right, so let's take a look at the actual data. This is a chart of the x-axis of the PNI sensor, which is the sensor used in the DistoX2. The blue lines are from measured data. The red lines are from a theoretical model. So I can change the parameter of the model and then place the model on top of the measured data like this. As you can see, this makes like a perfect cosine waveform, and the match is near perfect. One of the other sensors, the MEM6 sensor, which is my current favorite, is on the second chart. You may be able to see a slight difference between the red and the blue lines on the right side of the waveform, but it too is near perfect. This is really good. Very good results. There is an offset and the polarity is reversed, but those things can be easily fixed in software calibration. So the results are, I have found a sensor which is as good as or better than the one found in the DistoX2, and I plan to use it for the next generation. Of course, this is only the beginning. There's much more to do. I do have a potential rangefinder case that I can modify. I also have a contract manufacturer in China that I have worked with in the past. This is a big project, but I hope to have it completed by this time next year. Thank you.